National Builders Show on Friday. Second to last day of the show. I'm with Dave Barista, Editor-in-Chief of Professional Builder Magazine, and Jonathan Sweet, Editor of Professional Remodeler Magazine. I'm Pat O'Toole, and I'm with HousingZone.com, and we work together as an editorial team. I'm going to give you my thoughts, guys, and then you can kind of chime in with what you're seeing out there. We're going to talk a little bit about the market and the outlook. I'm seeing a broad range of stories out there, depending on whether you're talking to a builder, or a remodeler, or an architect, or a manufacturer that serves one of those sectors. And in the remodeling side of things, you break it down even further, that replacement and exterior repair type of firm is doing a lot better than the other sectors, having the best years ever. And then when you talk to home builders, of course, this is really Armageddon. Very, very tough out there to sell a house because of all the financial constraints, all the appraisals not coming in at the levels where they should be. And so it's very tough on the home building side. So it's a range of things that are happening. What I'm also hearing, though, is that Texas, of all the big markets, or all the states that have big markets like Houston and Dallas, that's the bright, shining spot for 11. If we could see some hope for the housing market, the builder market to come back, and Texas is the place where it's going to happen. So it's got great job growth, and there's a lot of pent-up demand is what we're hearing. So we need some confidence to come into the market, and once Texas gets started, I think there'll be broader confidence to come. So those are my thoughts. Jonathan, from the remodeling side of things, what's the outlook? What are people saying that you're hearing, particularly today at the show?
Well, obviously, the remodeling market hasn't been hit as hard as the new construction market, but still, it has been a great couple of years. I think people are looking for some growth. We're seeing a lot of optimism from the manufacturers. They're talking about how they really see this as being a key year for remodeling. And also, the remodelers themselves. All the remodelers I'm talking to are talking about how things are looking up this year. They're seeing some really good activity leading into the early part of the year. And more specifically, on the statistical side, we've got both Harvard and NHB coming out with their forecast today, and they're looking at some good growth in the market as well. Harvard is predicting about a 6% growth this year and about 3.5% annualized growth for the next 5 years. And it may not sound like much, but that is actually on par with our historic growth in remodeling history if you take out what looks more like an anomaly of the first 5 years of the last decade.
Right, I mean, that is the most surprising stat that I saw too. I mean, after all of those go-go years in the middle part of this decade, the last decade, and then that big dip that we had at the end, you average it out, we're minus 1.4%. So, and then that 3.5% over a 15-year period, pretty consistent, and then we'll be having that same level going forward. So it's very positive. When we look at the residential construction market, remodeling certainly is the bright spot. Dave, that kind of leads into your news today. What are you guys seeing on housing starts for next year? What are the economists saying, and the other experts that you've talked to?
I think overall they're still a little bit bearish, as most of the home builders are here that I spoke with at the shows. Manufacturers are pretty upbeat. They're pretty positive for 2011, but I think their level of expectation has dropped a little bit over the last few years. Obviously, plenty of talk among the economists here at the show. David Crow from NHB said about a 21% growth in housing sales next year. The economists obviously note that this growth starts from a very low base. So yes, it is a large figure. 20% seems large, but it's nothing like 2005.
Great, yeah, I mean, it'll be an amazing day if we ever get back to 1 million starts, and that's half of the peak. So we're still pretty far down. I think we can agree that we're at the bottom right now, that when you look at 2009 and 2010, that there will be no lower years in our history, and 11 looks to be a much better year. So these are our thoughts from the 2011 Builder Show, Day 4 on Friday, and we'll have more tomorrow. Thanks, and we'll see you on HousingZone.com.